Welcome, welcome,
Oh my
welcome.
God. Welcome back, everybody. I forget that I have to look over there. That's even more confusing because I really want to look right here or right here. But we're here.
Or you can just look right there.
That's true. That's true. Welcome back, everybody. We're live today. And look, okay, we're live today, live in person. We have so many things to discuss, guys. Oh, man. Anyway, how
Yeah,
are
so
you doing
welcome,
this
welcome,
week?
welcome. I'm good. I'm good. How are you?
I feel good. I feel really good this week. I feel like, you know, I'm doing the Lord's work. It's so funny because, like, you just show up at work or whatever in life. You just want to do a good job. You just want to serve the people around you while you're there. You know what I mean?
You
I feel
sound
like,
like such a great employee.
well, I mean,
That's not how I feel
you
about my
are
job.
too. Like, so, but
I wouldn't explain it
regardless
like
of how
that.
you feel, you show up and you do it. And then there's other things too. It's not even just your job. It's like whatever capacity you.
I guess everything you're doing is always working, eventually.
If you're showing up in the space and you're bringing yourself to serve, you're doing the Lord's work. You know what I'm saying? I don't dare I say regardless of what you're doing, but
I
if
mean,
you
yeah.
but it's if you're helping someone along in their day, get a request met or yeah,
That's
you're
why I
doing the
said.
Lord's
That's why I
work.
said that.
Yeah, but some days are harder than others. Not gonna lie. Not gonna lie.
Well, I
But
had a great week. So you had a great week as
I had a
well.
great week. I had a great week. I can't complain. All the stuff that I complain about, well, I can complain actually very well. I'm a master. I'm a master at that. But everything that I complain about is like a super first world problem. I have nothing to complain about. So there's
So
that.
what
But
you got for us today?
okay, so today, it's a lot been happening in these streets. We do want to give a special shout out to people who are doing positive things. I had some mixed thoughts on this. I'm gonna bring this up because um there's some things I feel like, we both are of the mindset that if you're gonna do something positive, like share it with the community and, do all the fun things, but oh, I don't even have it up there. Let's do it now. But I wanted to get your thoughts on the neighborhood talk. Actually, the neighborhood talk, we get some of our news from there sometimes when we are doing like updates on like Black culture and stuff. It's a number of websites we get notifications from, but they're doing an event in New York City, and they're sponsored by Zeus, and they
Sponsored
have
by Zeus. Oh my
yeah,
god.
it gets deeper. So they're sponsored by Zeus. They have a few panels lined up. One of them is like breaking the glass ceiling. The other one is like women in entertainment. So one thing that they got my attention by is that I see Pinky Cole, and obviously she's a very respected entrepreneur. And there's some other people who are familiar here, but then someone in the comments talks about Janisha John, who I've never heard of before, but they're like, why is she up there?
What does she do? I've
So
heard of
she's a
Pinky Cole.
Zeus
I've heard of
personality.
Janelle Stephens.
Thank you.
Stephens. I've heard of Deja Robinson, but I don't know. I mean, like, why did they say that?
I don't know, but I guess it's because she's on Zeus. But
I mean, because Zeus does have a bad reputation.
bad
Because you remember when I first started watching Zeus
Yeah.
when Real Chance at Love came on, and there was only a few shows on there.
Oh,
That was like before the pandemic, or like right at the beginning of the pandemic, and we looked at them that one show that one time a couple of years ago. But we looked at the fact that they do have more than the bullshit that's going on. You know what I mean? But
sure.
that's what's being watched. But like their reputation precedes them. So, I don't know, but I would go because she's going. She just opened up her 14th location in 6 years from starting from a food truck. So
you're talking about
Pinky Cole, yeah, I would go just because she's gonna be there. But I remember Janelle Stevens too, from the founder of Camille Rose. You remember her, right?
I don't think so.
You remember Camille Rose? Wasn't
I
it like
do.
a blog or
Oh,
something like
yeah,
that?
yeah. It was a blog. Wait,
That's
who
her.
is that?
She's the founder of that.
Janelle. Oh, wow. Okay. I love to see. I feel like black
Hey
women.
Gwendolyn, hey Blondie.
Hey y'all. Hey Blondie.
What y'all doing up?
Hey Gwendolyn.
What y'all doing up? Well, I don't know what time it is where y'all are, but what y'all doing?
Listen, it's early, y'all. But I do watch like different websites and stuff, and I do remember Camille Rose, and there's a couple of other blogs and things that I used to
Sandra Rose.
Yeah, there was so many different.
Oh, okay.
I'm trying to figure out exactly who that is actually, but anyway, I
Camille Rose.
Yeah.
Wait.
Founder of Camille Rose. I feel like I'm associating it with something
with
that
Sandra Rose.
Maybe or something else. Like there's a lot of things, but anyway, I knew that was gonna happen. That was our light.
Lost the light, guys.
It's all good.
This is a live show.
This is a live show, and you know what?
Shit might happen.
Shout out to being live. Because stuff like that happens all the time. And it's going to happen again. And I'm going to set the same light back up. But, oh, yes. Oh, it's a hair product. I was like, wait a minute. I was thinking about another brand.
I was actually thinking about a blog, but now that I see this, I was thinking about.
I was like, hold up. Why does that look so familiar? I literally was cleaning up earlier, and I think I have like 5 of those products. I definitely have that.
Oh, you have to probably pull it up so people can see.
Okay, I was like,
because I was thinking blog, but then when I said Sandra Rose, I was like, well, maybe that's not
the same thing I'm thinking of. That's what made me think about it.
That's why you were like, wait, what? I can't place it.
Hold up now. Okay,
that's what jogged my memory when I said Sandra Rose. I was like,
this is even better.
Sandra Rose,
a black woman.
Yeah, that is.
I love us. Be there
too. But it's so the fact that it's sponsored by Zeus shouldn't be.
Look, how many of these products have y'all gotten from Target or wherever you get them from? Like, I literally have at least 3 of these things just pictured here. And I have another thing.
Honey mousse. That sounds like it smells bomb.
I think I have that. And I think I have a couple of other things. I definitely have some. It might not be this particular scent, but I definitely have some of their hair oil. I have so many things. It's like, oh, okay, I get it.
Now I
get it. Mm-hmm. So that's great. Now I know who that is.
But I don't know who the other ones are, though.
Let's see. Okay, so we're going to go back to this tab. So, thank you so much. Craft Services. Craft Food Services is on point in this video. Okay.
Thanks, production.
But yes, thank you, production. Yes. Yeah, go ahead. We might have some sounds in the background, but whatever. So, yeah, these are other people who I vaguely.
Yeah, I don't know anything about.
But listen, I'm grateful that people make spaces for people to talk and share information because it's Black people for sure.
So it's a transformative event celebrating female empowerment, featuring inspiring speakers, engaging workshops, and networking aimed at fostering growth. Sponsored by Zeus.
Listen, Zeus puts a lot of chaos out into the world. I'm not going to lie.
Yeah.
But, they're also doing this. And so, I guess you can shit and litter and then clean up and everything's okay. That's what I think. It's good that people are doing things like this. And I often see this, I know you do too. This Instagram,
you mean
account.
Like the neighborhood talk?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. They post a lot of things that we talk about that are relevant in our community. So if they're a part of this and then Zeus is a part of it, I don't think there's anything. I think it's great. I think Zeus is making a lot of money off of people being exploited, to be honest. So it's good that they're also doing this.
I mean, but those people are probably signing themselves up to be exploited. So is Zeus really responsible for that? When do you hold the adult responsible for their own actions? You don't have to be on TV. It's not a necessity. That's a luxury.
Honestly. It is, and it's something that people are seeking out. So I'm not trying to say.
I'm not saying don't feel bad for the people or that it isn't what it is, but come on.
No, but fully.
When you go apply to be on Zeus, you know what you're doing. Even though they do have shows that are not crazy. The stuff that people are watching, people are applying to be on there to be
on there. Say, yeah, I'm on Zeus.
Yeah,
it's like, oh, at least I don't know. All right, let's not get into that level because I was getting ready to say something that I might not be able to walk back. So. But shout out to people who are doing those types of things, and they're actually doing this Empower Her conference. I wanted to go back. Let me go back and show some of the other, because on their page they actually have some things posted. Pinky Cole is what caught my attention, but they also have like a entertainment, women in entertainment, and they have some other things going. Now, the thing that I saw though when I was looking at this, because this is on their page, I don't know any of these people. So I was thinking to myself, like, oh, panel moderator, community manager. I don't know who these people are.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm not doubting who they are, but I'm not familiar with them. So that was one thing. Like, the thing that drew my attention was Pinky.
Mm-hmm.
But then it's like Queen, the influence of women in entertainment, breaking the glass ceiling, and leading women in the entertainment industry. And then we have account manager, digital marketer. So I don't know how. I don't know. I don't know a lot of these people's names. So that's one thing. But I appreciate people networking to the side, if you will, and just coming up with spaces that
I mean, yeah, because we would have to see like who is responsible for the event. Like that will probably tell us who, like, what kind of people they look for or whatever. But like these people are probably somewhere, somebody somewhere.
I'm sure.
Oh, Blondie says Camille Rose, her natural hair products have been sold in stores for years. Yeah, the name was familiar as hell, but then when I said Sandra Rose, it was like, oh yeah, no. But Camille Rose, like, yeah, we all have some products. I definitely got some products under my sink that I can't use now, but yeah.
So it's called the Empower Her Conference. It's supposed to be. I know. I was so delighted. The Empower Her Conference is sponsored by Zeus.
Sorry, y'all. If y'all don't like people to eat on camera.
Look, this is a mukbang or whatever they call it. People do it all the time. It's fine.
Popcorn mukbang. Okay,
also, anyway. I'm not gonna starve because I'm trying to.
No,
it's fine. We can talk.
We're not doing that.
We can do some things at the same time. So, yeah, shout out to Black people sharing information. Like, at first I was like, who are these people? And then I was like, you know what? It doesn't matter because they're doing something positive. I'm here for it. Yeah. So wait, Blondie Monique says, oh, first she was like, hello everyone. I'm still gonna get used to this setup.
Shout out to her and Gwendolyn.
Yes, shout out to Gwendolyn. Good evening. She was like, I live in Florida. Oh, Camille Rose. Right. Been sold in stores for years. Yeah, I've been buying them for years too, and I didn't even put it together for a second.
Anyway, I had a slow moment.
No, she was like sold. Yeah, it's very easy to find. I have several of them. Like, I literally was moving stuff around today, and I put some stuff somewhere, and I actually moved one of those products. I was like, oh. So anyway, shout out to them. Shout out to Neighborhood Talk to, putting something together because they could have just as easily not. And speaking of people who are putting things together, I think a lot of people know about Earn Your Leisure, about the guys who they do a lot of podcasts and just financial advice for Black people. Yeah, they have
Market Monday. Is it Market Monday or Market Money Monday?
Ooh, now you got me confused.
It's about the stock. Like, they talk about that.
I feel like it's Market Monday, but now when you say Market Money Monday,
I probably just added that.
That sounds a lot better. If it's not Market Money Monday, then they need to change it because that's actually a really good.
I just added that.
Why? But
or it might be Money Market Monday. I don't know. Anyway, they talk about stocks and stuff and all kinds of financial,
like up
things.
Yeah, news and like.
And they're young rich black men, which I love.
That's a good look.
They're trying to share information.
it's a good look. I love it when people like share information and they're not gatekeeping, because it's like nobody's. I don't know. I don't feel like anybody's gonna use your information and get more out of it than you can. Like, you're sharing the information with them. Like, if anything, you know, you're. I don't know. It's like, if somebody's gonna do more with your information than you're doing, then you owe it to them to tell them. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, what are you gonna do if you're not gonna outwork them? Then you better pass that idea on to somebody who's got the energy to execute it.
I
I
was
don't
trying
know.
to see what their name of their thing was. I thought it was like Market Mondays or something like that. But anyway, if you're not following Earn Your Leisure, you need to be following Earn Your Leisure. Let's just say that.
I appreciate their podcast, and they're just like, pouring into the community with their financial information that they have, and they're passionate about sharing it. So, Earn Your Masters, this is something I came across today because I was like, oh, what's this? They're doing an event in Charlotte at the end of the month. And as I read more about it, I'm not sure if you have to be a part of a group already, but it didn't seem like it. It looked like you could
Is
just sign
that
up.
Ally sponsoring them?
Yes, they're
Okay.
the real deal.
Okay. Shout out to them. Shout
Ally
out to
Bank
Earn Your Leisure
and
because
United Masters, which I've seen that before, but I don't know exactly what it is.
I don't know, but I know what Ally is.
Me too. Shout out to EYL because they're doing their thing. So they're having an event. If you are in Charlotte, North Carolina, you might as well go ahead and mosey on over there. It says to RSVP and receive programming updates. You just do this. But as I was reading about what this event actually is, I was noticing that it said this time, we were talking about earlier, for the first time in Earn Your Masters, a select group of entrepreneurs is like, this could be the first event. We don't know. But
I mean, you just said it was.
They'll be able to pitch their ideas to a panel of moguls featuring Steve Stout and Earn Your Leisure for the chance to win funding and mentorship. So this is an opportunity, like if you have a business idea, to actually like pitch your idea and actually get some fellowship and some information. So this
right
is
in front
not
of people who actually have the capital to help you bring to fruition whatever it is you're doing.
Yep, the capital. And look, they're talking about mentoring and obviously funding, but the mentoring itself is like so valuable. So, yet another thing that Black people are doing to advance ourselves. I love to see things like this. We talked about earlier how I love this movement, but I love seeing that Myron video the other day, just him sharing information there. I just love it when Black people get together and do dope stuff. So that's really the long and short of it. And then there's another thing.
She's talking about Myron Golden. If you don't watch him,
Yeah,
you need
sorry.
to watch him too. But him and David Shans had a conversation the other day, and it was pretty good. But just to give you all the background on what she's talking about.
This is another thing that's funny. I'm going to share this because this this girl basically graduated from college. I believe it was college.
Well, that's what it says.
Yeah, and her grandfather, who's like a Aboriginal, like he's like in the motherland and whatnot, like he was like, oh, I'm gonna come in and do the ceremony and dance with her. When I looked at the picture, I was like, this is not real, but I think it's real.
I don't know. I can't even really see his face, so I don't know.
It makes me think like people still live like this. Like people still live like this all across the land. And you think about how many people are like depressed or, living in cities who are not even like, they're financially burdened and all these things are happening to them. They live in New York. I saw this horrible video of this man who lives in New York, and he was like, he felt trapped there because it's like, it's all about capitalism and all this, but he couldn't figure out how to get out without like becoming homeless or something. I was like, wow. But it's like, this man and other people live on real land, and they hunt and they fish, and they live just fine. That's what this made me think of. I guess that's what made me, I don't guess. That's what made me captured in our thoughts, because it was something I wanted to discuss
I
with
can't
you.
even see his face. I would like to see where these people live.
I mean, you've seen the movies. Do you need more information? Like, you see those movies where they do the dances, and this man lives off the land. You can't even see his face. Who knows how many years he's been wearing that makeup?
Okay.
Or maybe
listen, I can't do this.
or maybe it's a ritual and he rinses it off. Or this man might live in San Francisco for all I know. He might he might be taking an acting job, taking this photo. But I do believe that people still live like this. Like there's Amish people. There's all types of things going on, but like there's other parts of life.
It's not above anybody to dress up fanatically as some character, to be like, hey, take this picture real quick, and then the internet goes crazy with what it actually, when it probably was just, I asked my uncle to come to school dressed like an Aboriginal just to go for my project. No, I'm not saying that's it, but I'm just saying, like, I need to see this community that he lives in.
Did you hear about the story about the lady in Australia who's euthanizing herself because she has mental health issues?
Mm-mm.
Okay, maybe we need to be talking about that, because, and I'm about to find that story, but this lady right here, so like when I look at this story and this man is dressed up, like it might be a farce. I
just need to see his face. I can't see his face. What do you see?
I mean, like, I guess I want to believe the fantasy, like, oh, this man has been living 60 years in the bush. I don't know. He's killed lions and tigers and bears.
Let's talk about that though. Let's really kind of talk about that for 1 second. So she asked her grandfather, right?
I don't know if she asked him or if he was
I'm reading the caption. It says an Aboriginal Australian girl graduated college. Did she look old enough to graduate college? I don't know. An Aboriginal elder who lived on a remote island traveled almost 2,000 miles to attend the ceremony to dance with her. Now, all I'm saying is that if you lived in California, when I lived in DC, I would have to travel 2,000 miles to attend the ceremony and dance at your wedding. Like, this isn't really anything like great. So what I'm trying to see is like, how did he get there? Like, what's the rest of the story? Where does he come from? Like, what's supposed to make us feel bad about this 2,000 miles that he traveled to attend the ceremony? Because he's Aboriginal and Australian, and he came to his granddaughter's graduation. That's what you're supposed to do. Like, what's the other caption? You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah, it's
there's
like,
nothing
why is
happening right there in that caption right there. But what does the thing say? I can't read that. Hold on, let me see. He lived on a remote island
in Northeast RN, I don't know, land to Hillsville, Australia, to perform a special dance with his granddaughter at her college graduation. So you don't believe this guy's real?
What is special about that? What's different than Uncle Bob coming to travel from Carolina? But my point is, why the fuck does he look like that? Where's the backstory about that? Why does he look like that? Because saying that you travel almost 2,000 miles to attend a ceremony to dance with her, people do that all the time for weddings and
this lady said, how do you
fucking vacations? So I'm trying to figure out
where's his dance
and where's the fucking story.
Well,
do you understand what I'm saying?
I do understand.
Nothing's happening in that caption.
I mean, honestly,
she graduated college. Her grandfather traveled to dance with her.
Well, the story is that he looks like that, and that he's.
Well, why does he look like that? Did he ride on a plane like that? How did he get there? How did he get there?
I didn't find out.
I think Blondie has a point. Artificial intelligence is real, so you never know. Yeah, like,
that's true.
It's made to look like something, but it really doesn't say anything spectacular. It just says that somebody graduated and their family attended and they traveled a certain number of miles, which happens all the fucking time. if we would have seen like the village that he lives in and how he got there.
Even the dance, I do appreciate that. I didn't see the dance or nothing.
What if it was just a two-step? It doesn't say.
That's really quite sad. I didn't even.
But I mean, do you see how everything is left up to interpretation?
Yeah.
You get from it, you be like, oh my God, look at his face. He must have come a long way. Oh my God, they did the ceremony of this. We don't know what really happened, but it really, if you really think about what it says, it really doesn't say anything like spectacular. You know what I mean? I don't know. I think
no, it's true. I just took it and I ran with it. Like I literally read the caption and I believed it.
It could be true, but like it's just like
where is
it doesn't explain his look. It doesn't explain why he looks like that, and
he could be from Wisconsin.
Would he really be that old? Would he really be that old?
He might not be that old, but we're looking at
because I'm looking at her. She's younger than us. Would her grandfather really look like that? I don't know. Who knows? I don't know.
Look, now I'm wondering. Anyway, I was trying to find this story about this Australian woman who decided to like go along with this euthanasia. Like this is the thing. I'm not going to bring it up right now because I don't have the text to go with it, but it is a real thing, and I looked it up a couple times. And other people have covered it. People are now doing like assisted deaths, and especially in other countries, and the numbers are going up. And it's like, wow, like one of the people I watch online, his name is Nick Jones. He's like a Christian commentator. Like he comments on like videos and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But he was saying that like, wow, we've gotten to the point where the world is offering death as a solution and people are taking it. Like, well, guess you'll just die. And they're like, yeah. And it's like, wow, that's crazy. It's like, you know what I mean? Like,
I mean, we can order everything else though.
But like, that is so crazy to me that that's an option.
Have you ever seen what was it on Hulu? It's called, is it called Reload or Upload? It might be called Upload. But basically, before you pass away, right, you go to this place and you discuss like being in the afterlife, and like they download or upload your body. I don't know.
Oh my God.
You don't really exist though, but your sleep, I don't know. It's a show. But basically, when people go after they die, they can save their soul, not their soul, but their mind or their personality, or somehow they get them to this place, right?
Okay.
And then they, in the real world, there's a call center that is connecting people to whatever thought people have to say. It's really, this girl fell in love with one of the people, but he wasn't alive. So it's
where is this playing?
It's on Hulu. I can't remember what it's called, but like in the world that we're in, like we can order food and groceries to our door any minute. You could probably order liquor too and all types of everything. Stuff.
Although I heard Drizzly went out of business.
Oh really, Drizzly? Okay. I never tried it, but I remember when it came out, and I was like, "Oh, that's interesting."
Yeah.
But
I don't think I maybe used it once, but it wasn't.
I mean, it's the same thing as when people, I guess, say, if I ever get to go to the hospital and something's incapacitated the person, they can decide whether they want to be resuscitated or not. You know what I mean? But I don't know. It's just morbid to be like, oh, you know what? I think I'm just gonna go ahead and make an appointment and just get on out of here. I don't know.
Maybe we'll cover that.
But at least they get to choose going in comfort, I guess, versus knowing when they're gonna do it. I don't know.
This story was very wild. I don't think you would have wanted to.
That's important to some people because it's like, do you want to wake up or do you want to just check out anywhere, or do you want to be like, you know what? I know exactly where I'm gonna be.
Her her death plan was really weird. And I mean, it's her death plan, so whatever, but the guy, Nick Jones, that I was watching kind of break this down, because I've seen this story like a few days before, but this one guy who was breaking it down, and he was like, biblically or whatever, he was just like, so the doctor said that her situation wouldn't get better, but it's just like, that's when you take it to God, instead of being like, okay, if the doctors say this won't get better, then okay, I give up. I'm just going to end my life. Mm-hmm. It's like, okay, well, that's somebody's opinion, but like, you don't have to just like decide to die after that. You know what I mean? Like it's weird to me that in some parts of the world, they consider that death, like, I don't know, you should be able to do whatever you want to yourself, I guess. But
I mean,
I
I
don't know, it was
personally
wild.
don't want to
I felt
do
like
anything with that because one, what if you live past what the doctor says, but you took yourself
my
out of
thing is
here?
always like, you know how fast your thoughts go? It's like the moment you decide to take your life, and then
Listen,
the
I was
solution
cussing
to your
somebody
problem,
out for cutting me off driving 5 minutes ago. Not 5 minutes ago, literally,
the
but like
solution
earlier
to your
today.
problem could run through your mind
I don't
right
feel the
before
same
you
now.
die, and it's like,
I mean,
oh shit, I should have
it
tried
could.
that. That's why I can never see.
But then
turning off.
you have to think of as many things that have good aspects. You have to think of the bad aspects or the people who might be on the far end of the scale that you're not, right?
Absolutely.
Now, a person who has like chronic pain or they just feel like they're suffering, right?
Yeah.
From that chronic pain or whatever. Like we never know how their thoughts are or what what
Or
they
mental,
feel like.
yeah.
You know what I mean? But I don't know. I couldn't do it. I don't want to take anything like that into my own hands or whatever. So that is kind of like.
Anyway, we weren't trying to go there, guys. See how that happens sometimes?
I mean, you brought up the lady.
I was talking about the Aborigine guy too, so I don't even know how that happened. That just
I
snuck
have
right
no
up on
idea.
me. Anyway, I do want to give a shout out to this company, which is not even a real. I mean, like, it's not a publicly traded company right now, but if you don't know about Fanbase, I mean, listen, I literally, this is not sponsored, but like, I gotta give a shout out to Fanbase and everybody who is on there already. Oh man, why does it say I'm not following? I swear I'm following. I have an account and everything. Anyway, listen.
I forgot about Fanbase. I gotta start.
I swear I'm following, guys.
Doing stuff.
I gotta start putting stuff on Fanbase because it's really the only platform right now that you could actually make money on. That, like, today, like, you know what I mean? Like, it's not gonna. There's a lot of platforms who don't even pay you, and then there's platforms that charge you, or they pay you based on their own algorithms. But Fanbase is not one of those. They basically, it's like a partnership. But anyway, this is, like I said, it's not sponsored. Isaac Hayes the third is the person who has founded this company, and he has some really good ideas. But I just wanted to shout him out because I was looking at a interview of his, and I was just thinking about how much risk and how much thought it takes to actually compete in that sort of arena with the tech industry, and to come up with an app and really think that you're going to make it. I do actually think he has a really good chance because his ideas are really sound, and people have already, like, some of the other platforms have already started to take some of his ideas and implement them, but Fanbase is just not as popular as them. But anyway, just wanted to put this up here because if you don't know what Fanbase is, go ahead over there, get yourself an account. It's a free account. Like, again, not sponsored.
This
yet.
video is not sponsored
Yet. But yeah, I really think about how genius this is sometimes. And I just saw a more recent interview.
You can shake the phone for some apps and say, "Oh, signaling to say I'm having trouble." They do that. I think Instagram does that too. Like if you're having a problem, like if something fucked up, you can be like, and it'll be like, "Do you want to create a ticket?"
Wow.
I definitely saw that on Fanbase, but they got it from somebody else. He said.
Well, the algorithm, I'll say his, but the algorithm over here works in a way that's more conducive to, like, you getting views. It's not based on an algorithm. It's not based on advertisement. So I would, encourage people to go and find out about Fanbase and look up interviews from Isaac Hayes to see like what he's actually talking about and what he's trying to build. And the thing is, it's free. It's like
they also have the same stuff like that. What was that? What was the app everybody was going on? To listen to people talk like audio.
Oh,
it was a couple of them, but Clubhouse. They have rooms like Clubhouse. You can do reels. You can actually like transition everything on your Instagram over to Fanbase. Like it'll they'll when you sign up,
and
they'll
they
put
do
it right
long
up there.
form content.
Long
So
form
it's like,
content or whatever.
unlike a lot of platforms.
No, I was gonna say so. The way that people get paid is that every like or you can decide how much love you want to send. And love is like a penny, right? So you can just send people pennies all over the place, and so those pennies add up. So that's how people get paid over there. But anyway, yeah, create yourself a fan base.
Yeah.
I need to remind myself I have a fan base because I've been forgetting about it.
Look, let me tell you something. Here's the one, and we're just gonna be real. Look, I just went to go follow, but I swore I was following before this, but maybe Instagram unfollowed me for some whatever reason. Instagram is jealous. But anyway, one of the things, and we're just gonna always be real. One of the things that I struggle with posting content over there is that like I feel like sometimes nobody's watching. But even though some of the things that I've posted over there have gotten some attention and I've gotten subscribers over there when I'm on the Fanbase app, but sometimes you just kind of think like it's like lost in the abyss. Like, oh well, everybody's over here on Instagram. It's like I don't know if you remember. There's these parties they used to have at school where you like each room was a different vibe. It was like Halloween parties or whatever, and it's just like, oh, Mrs. Green's classroom is decorated like this, and Mrs. Washington's classroom is decorated like this. It's like, sometimes going over to fan base, I'd be like, oh, there's not really that many people over here, but I have to stop myself from thinking like that because the more people who go over there, the more of us will be over there. Like if everybody's in Mrs. Green's classroom, then everybody's gonna come in there. You know what I mean? But it's like sometimes we forget how much power we have as consumers. It's like wherever we are, that's where they'll be. So
I mean, and if you have you have to realize too that when everybody started at the same point.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So you can't focus on with this live. Like, yeah, it might only be 2 or 3 people at a time in there, but the replay factor is what you never know when somebody's gonna see the video. You know what I mean? So you can't focus on that. So you gotta do the video as if 1,000,000 people are watching and not let the fact that you think that nobody's gonna watch it get into your head. Like, no,
absolutely. Hello, 1 million. Right? Hello, 1 millionth person. How are you? You're so special. You keep doing what you're doing. That's gonna go to somebody really special. They're gonna love that.
I hope they get in the comments.
I hope you're having an amazing Thursday. Oh, it's Thursday, isn't it? Wherever you are.
As a matter of fact, let
whoever
us know.
Sees that and it's Thursday.
Let us know what year you're seeing this and put it in the comments below. It would be really cool to get to 2030 and see people still commenting on this video talking about, oh, it's such and such, whatever. Yeah. So whatever year it is for you, put it in the comments below. Anyway, she's in charge of the next thing. So before I start the ramble,
I just realized right now that I did not send myself all of these links, but
I still don't like that. That I can't even see his face. Like his face looks weird to me. I don't know. Whatever.
I mean, listen, you done blew this whole.
I did not mean to do that. He
had a whole career.
I did not mean to do that. I was just like, okay, wait, let me think about this like for real right now. Let me see what's going on. And I just was like, wait a minute, the sentence doesn't actually tell me anything special.
She ruined him. She ruined his whole career. It's okay. Things have happened to people. He'll get back up. He looks like a strong individual.
He looks like a strong Aborigine.
Aborigine, whatever. But listen, this was interesting. I came across this today. So Rihanna was making, she was being interviewed, and I mean, listen, now she's worth billions. Okay. She says, she's a mom, so somebody was like, "Oh, do you have any fashion icks?" And she was like, "Oh my God, I can't believe I was walking around here with my nipples out. Sometimes I have my panties showing." She's like, "Oh my God, that sounds so hypocritical, but like now I have kids, and I'm like, I can't believe I was doing that. I'm like, oh my God, like this is real."
I'm glad she said it.
Like, girl, that was like 3 years ago.
Sit the fuck down. Shut up.
And you know what? We loved it. I loved it.
Girl, please.
I loved it. I loved all the risks she took as far as fashion risks. And please, girl, That was not that long ago. She
I
acted like
appreciate
it
her
was
for
20
coming out
years
and being
ago.
real about it. Because if she would have came out here and be like, you know, it doesn't bother her, I would have just been like, what? But at the same time, girl, okay.
But look, she did that well, so I'm not mad at her.
Mhm.
And she, you know what? It's one of those things where, you know, you live and you learn. But
Exactly.
she didn't do anything wrong to
No,
anybody.
I mean,
So
nah, but
more power to her. Oh man, I messed that up. I need to go back. Sorry, I was looking for another story. But yeah, I think she'll be
Blondie says
fine.
she's gonna download the fan base app. Yeah, it's a little different over there, but I did notice that a lot of the content creators that I see on YouTube, that some of them might be like decent big content creators, they are really friendly over there. So
Yeah, and some of the things that I've posted over there, I've only had like maybe 4 posts.
But I mean, like, imagine on YouTube how many videos you liked on YouTube, right? If you got a penny, if that like was a penny given to everybody that you liked, you would have contributed to, you know, something to their thing. So I think that's I like that I like that I don't know why I'm doing this, but I like that they're you know, supporting. You could immediately support somebody. You could immediately start making money. So, you know, I think everybody needs a YouTube channel anyway. But
you know what? I agree with that too, and I feel like it is one of the many. You know, it's one of the ways that you can start making money right away. Because sometimes, as a content creator, it's like I remember when they was talking about people on Instagram. So like we're on Instagram and we're on YouTube, but like we're not relying on this income. But other people who are like creating content full time and they're relying on the income, I found out that you know, Instagram just decided to take away their monetization at one point, and they just didn't even give any explanation for it. So it's like that's when places like Facebook, or you know, Facebook is Instagram, but like fan base. I'm sorry, I'm looking for this cursor.
And then sometimes YouTube demonetizes channels out the blue too, because I remember Bondi Blue got her channel taken. She had to get that back, and a bunch of people kind of lost their channels and then had to fight to get it back or whatever. And it's like, if that person is a full-time YouTuber, that's affecting their livelihood. But it kind of makes you think, damn, like, we really don't have control over the shit. So
yeah. And to think that you don't have control. If you go watch some of these fan base videos that that Isaac Hayes III is making, he's telling people how this game is played, as far as like how when you sign up for, you know, you just think that when you follow somebody that you're going to be, you know, sort of in queue to or notified when they post something. You think by you subscribing to someone that you're going to be notified, but that's not what is happening. Like
sometimes, because I get notifications, we all get notifications, but it's not
every
you
time
get
they
all
post.
Your notifications.
You know,
YouTube only gives you 3 times a day. So if you waste your notifications on posting on your community wall, you know, your videos are not going to be sending out notifications. So it all depends, but you're not getting every single notification though from everybody.
But also, they're charging for that. Like the platforms are not, you know, responsible for being fair. They're charging advertisers to give, you know what I mean? Like, oh, we'll deliver your product ad in front of an audience. Mm-hmm. And these are the people who are getting an audience. And just because you have an audience doesn't mean you have power. And that's why I think that fan base is like a really good, you know, even though, like I said, I'm not posting regularly on there.
No, but I mean, it's like, okay, people would, you know, if my like is gonna give you a penny, I can give you more pennies and more pennies. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like that's a good concept. Because imagine how many times you like videos on YouTube. You would get, if that was equated to like coins, then people would be getting compensated, and it make people feel like they're doing something, make people feel like they're receiving something. So, but YouTube takes 40%. So
yeah. Oh, did you talk about it?
I don't know. Listen, I feel bad about the people who have I feel bad for the people who don't have YouTube Premium because I'm not about to sit through some of these commercials that some of these people put in their videos. Like it's really well, I don't know. I've heard that the commercials aren't great, but like that they come up every so often. They even come up doing live videos now. I heard because I watch people talk about
I've been
that they were every
YouTube
5 minutes.
Premium for way too long.
Yeah, because I was like, wow, they have commercials doing live videos
That
now.
sounds so intrusive. Sounds so invasive, and I'm sorry for you poor folk out here who don't subscribe to YouTube. But YouTube Premium is the way to be. Like, I can't go back. Like, I think there was one point where, I know what it was. So I signed up under my, obviously, like, my account. And then I was at work under my work profile. And I Googled something, and I was listening to something, and a commercial came on, and I was like, what is that? I couldn't even remember. But that's the way life
Look at Blondie's comment.
Oh, what did she say?
She says, good to have your own domain and website. Those social media platforms can change anytime. Yes, they can. Because I remember, like I said, I keep bringing up Bonnie Blue, but I remember when her channel disappeared. It's like a couple of years ago. And like she has her own website now or whatever. But if that's your livelihood, it's like, come on now. What are you doing? He said, look
at what happened to Periscope. Now, I remember Periscope.
That was on Twitter, right?
I don't remember, but
wasn't it video on Twitter?
Periscope, I used to watch. I felt like it was a standalone app, but maybe I'm wrong.
No,
but I used to watch planner stuff on Periscope. But maybe those were like repurposed videos because I just remember people saying in the videos, "Oh, this is Periscope." I'm just gonna wait for people in Periscope, but I don't know. Actually, I don't really remember a logo for Periscope. So
I don't remember. For some reason, I associated it with Twitter.
Well, listen, maybe you're right.
But maybe I'm wrong.
Oh wait, Blondie said yes. Okay, listen. Maybe she's saying yes to you.
But I do remember that because I remember people like that was right before. Like I used to watch YouTube, but it was back when YouTube only did uploads. I used to follow like maybe a few people back then because not everybody watched YouTube. I used to watch natural hair stuff and a couple of different people like Hot Damn I Rock. And I
was that on Periscope?
No, it was on YouTube.
Oh, okay.
But
but I remember the old YouTube days. Now Blondie says I used to watch folks live. I think it was live only on Periscope. Maybe that was kind of like when the Vine was out and all that stuff. Anyway, I don't remember everything.
I thought it was connected with Twitter.
Look, this is a shameless plug for Black women all across the planet. This lady is 61 years old. I don't know nothing else about this lady other than she looks bomb. Is she?
I always got a question. You know what I'm saying? But
I don't know.
If she is, more power to her. However,
she don't look 30, but
it was this dude on the internet. I forgot what his damn name was, but he was telling people that he was in his like 70s and that he had like figured out this like miracle thing or whatever, and he was like in his 30s. I was like, this man, I mean, I knew it immediately, but still.
Maybe she is.
But no, like she was good.
I mean, Angela Bassett also looks as good.
Well, what do the comments say? Let's see what the comments say. She look good. Listen.
They said 30 is a push.
I just don't think that we should compare to a specific age. I think it should be like she don't look 61.
Yeah.
All right. Because we know that there's 31-year-olds that look old.
She is not 60.
We know there's 31-year-olds that look old as hell. So let's just say she looks young at 61. But listen, I'm all for. I feel like we can get old. That's fine, but we don't need to be old and have other ailments. So shout out to her. Cause yeah. But what does that say?
I bet she goes to the gym regularly, has a very good diet, barely eats meat, doesn't smoke cigarettes, and barely drinks alcohol, if at all. I into gym 5 to 6 days a week. And I see women all the time in their 40s, 50s, and 60s looking this good and better. Well, good for you.
Yeah.
I'm so glad.
Oh yeah, she does look good.
So anyway, that was just a shameless plug. I don't even know who this lady is or anything like that.
Somebody said, "Wait, my mom is 61, going to 62, born in 1963. How is she 61, born in 1961? Shouldn't she be 63?" See, I knew somebody was going to show up and question what was going on. I knew it. I knew it. I always got to look in them comments. You know what I'm saying? She make a little bit of sense right there. Like, mess around and she's like 45 years old. You know what I'm saying? I would believe that. So I don't know. Listen, I ain't knocking the lady, but I am on the team of let's go ahead and create those habits before we get 61 so that when we get 61, we already like oatmeal in the morning. You know what I'm saying? We already like fruit. We already like, drinking smoothies and stuff. Like that's where I'm at with it. Like we already go on our walks. Like we just in the habit of doing it. That's kind of like, you always know where you put your keys in your wallet and you fuck around and put your keys in your wallet in a different spot. You'll be like, where the fuck did I put it at? Because you're so used to doing that. So like, that's what I do with my routines. Let me just go ahead and put this here. And this is just something that I do and whatever the benefit is the benefit. So yeah, I want to know how old she really is, but are you typing in the comments?
No,
I thought she was I thought she was leaving a comment on this Instagram. That's why I was like,
no, I was looking for the story that I was posting up about next.
Somebody said 40s though, late 40s though. She looks nice, very nice. People are not believing that she's 61. I don't know.
You know what? I'm just gonna take her word for it.
Hey, all we can do is take her word for it. You know what I'm saying? She might even be AI. Who knows? We don't know.
Glad.
We have no idea.
But you know what? we're not having these conversations about other people of other cultures. That's really funny. But anyway, listen, Ashanti is now confirming her pregnancy. Even though we knew for a long time, but we're shouting to them, and they're actually engaged now. I hear. She was at a dang, I don't even know where she was at. Celebrity Tea House.
You're doing great over there, guy. I just had look, the smell just pulled me out of it real quick.
That joint smells bomb. She was not confirming that she was pregnant until now, I suppose. But like, somebody said Tasha K in your face. Was she not believing it or something?
Probably. She probably said something.
Well, I'm hearing that Ashanti and Nelly are engaged and that they're pregnant, and obviously they're pregnant. But this is dope.
That's what's up.
Because we heard this a long time ago, but she's now finally confirming
we've always wanted them to get back together, though. So.
Hello. That was the spin the block that we all really wanted.
Hold on. Okay, so Blondie said, okay, Twitter and Periscope were connected. You could only go live. I really like, okay, I knew it had something to do with Twitter. And she said, most people don't think she's soon to be 54. You're about to be 54. I feel like I said this last year too. Yeah, that's wild that she's about to be 54. That Blondie's about to be 54. But black don't crack. You know
black don't crizack. My friend.
What can I say? I don't know. It's not my
fault. So it's very exciting. All right, the last thing we're going to end on, unfortunately, is not the best news of life. But, I said this to James earlier today because he was having a tough day. And I was like, well, you're having a better day than Diddy.
Oh, my God.
I have to say it like that. But if you're ever going through
everybody's having a better day than Diddy.
If you're ever going through these days, just remember that you're having a better day than Diddy. Are
you a Cancer, Blondie?
She said in July. Mm-hmm. Okay, so this story, this is our last story. We're ending on this story. Unfortunately, I know it's not the most positive, but it's what's happening, everybody. Diddy, okay, so Donald Trump Jr., son of our former president, is coming out with this story about how his ex-girlfriend is his ex-wife, excuse me. His ex-wife was good friends of Kim Porter's. And she was saying how she was always scared of Diddy. And while he was telling this story to the guy from DJ, what was his name? Academic?
DJ Academic.
Which is not my favorite person in the world, to be honest with you. But while he was telling the story, Donald Trump Jr. was like, oh my God, it's coming back to me now. And it's the way he was telling the story really made me believe he was telling the truth. He was like, oh my God, it's so funny that this is coming back to me because, you know what I mean? It's like, oh yeah, you probably were there. You were in New York. Your wife was a model. Diddy is like Kim Porter was a model. Like, sure, I could believe that you knew each other. You know what I mean? But it's wild.
It's wild because here's the thing. It's like it wasn't strange to him because he had to remind himself that this is something that's going on right now, and I was right there when it happened.
Oh
right?
Yeah, that wasn't weird at all when it was happening.
But when
you're right, that was illegal.
Yesterday I was watching this, and for some reason when I looked at it, all I saw was Donald Trump, and I said, "Is Donald Trump about to meet with this baby?" So I was like, it was 10 minutes left. I waited. I totally ignored the junior in the thing. Like the whole time, I read it, but I didn't absorb it. So I waited, and then he came and sat down. And I was like, oh, okay. But then I was like, this is interesting. I was like, why would he, like, what would Donald Trump Jr. gain from meeting with DJ Academics? Like, I know with DJ Academics,
the black vote.
Would, I mean, well, everybody doesn't follow DJ Academics, but obviously, you know, we don't all agree. That would be the reach, though. But like, that was interesting to me. You know what I mean? But I mean, shout out to him for getting the interview and setting it up and doing what he had to do. Because apparently, I guess they met the night before, and then they set this up, and so you know, I mean, gotta give him kudos to be able to get the interview, though. You know what I mean?
Wait, for who to be able to get the interview with
Academics?
For him to get the interview with Donald Trump Jr.
Yeah,
sure.
Because I'm pretty sure this Bama has something else to do.
Donald Trump Jr.
Yeah, sure. Now he has somebody. Somebody.
You know what this screams to me, though?
I'm not gonna say it.
I'm gonna say it. I'm gonna say it because it's funny to me. It's like, obviously, you know, we seeing Candace Owen out here in these black streets. We're seeing people out after the street lights have gone out in neighborhoods that they wouldn't normally be in online. And it's obvious what they're doing. And I want to think like it's not that easy to get the black vote. But indicators say that isn't that easy.
But who's going to Academics for voting information?
No one, but I think what they're banking on is like the black viewer who doesn't educate themselves on what could be, you know, detrimental to them or whatever, right? Like what their issues are. Then they'll just remember like, oh, I saw so-and-so on something that time. I'll vote for that guy. Or I'll vote for who he's affiliated with. I think that's at least the perception of how easy it might be to get a black vote. And I have to think that perhaps because I don't think the elections are rigged. I think maybe this is an act on actual data. So I feel like maybe if you show up in front of black people, they're more apt to vote for you. As opposed to if you don't, regardless of what you're saying.
He could run for president too. DJ Academics could run for president too. He actually said it before this interview. Lord. But let's face the fact that it is a possibility.
It is true.
Because what is he, like in his 30s? You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, he could have his own agenda as well. You know what I mean? So who knows? I mean, I wouldn't vote for him, but I'm just saying.
Well, you're educated, but
you think that the voting is not rigged in some way, shape, or form? You think that it's all completely fair?
All completely fair. But yeah, I think for the most part it is. I do believe that. I believe that. Now, does it do anything for you in your county and jurisdiction? Probably not. Like as far as like a general election, no. Right? Like I think there's some, you know, there's some connection there with like, you know, but I don't think it does anything for people in their own like districts, but I don't think it's rigged on a like national scale. I think it would just take a lot of people working in cooperation. I don't think they're, you know what I mean? I don't think that anybody's that organized, to be honest with you. Not even the government.
Okay, well, my thing is that I know when I fill out my little bubble form or whatever, I really can't be sure. I just
trust it. It's like
I really can't be sure where it goes. Okay,
for sure.
My vote goes to
you
God.
put it in the machine.
My
Exactly.
My shit probably ain't even counted. You know what I'm saying?
Listen.
Because at the end of the day, I cannot prove it. So
Right.
I don't know. I don't know. I'm not saying that that I know for a fact that it's rigged, but I'm just saying that when I vote,
That's
I
a
just be
possibility.
like,
Right. It is a possibility.
because you don't know where that
It
shit's
could
going.
just be that we're all.
It's
Listen,
not like you get a
we're gonna go
confirmation
here.
number and then you see your confirmation number on the screen when they count the votes. I mean, that could be a thing.
We're gonna go here, but you know, whatever. Because like when I voted in American Idol, I did believe that they were like they don't have any reason to rig the vote, but I do believe there's a better reason to rig the vote for in a presidential election. But I also don't feel like, all right, well, you know, nobody can be certain. It's
Nobody
like
can be certain.
it could totally be an experience and a reality that like as long as, because honestly, like the population outnumbers the government by hundreds, by exponentially. So it's like if we don't feel satisfied or satiated with our power,
chaos.
then it could be chaos. So it's like if you can like sort of calm the masses by saying, "Hey,
So then you
put
agree.
your pressure in the
So in
machine,
order
didn't
for-
you?" Just
but
like
listen,
in school
in
with
order-
the test.
So in order for somebody to
Sheet.
calm somebody, you have to have the power.
You have
I
to
could
you have
call
to
my
make
dog.
them
I
believe
could
they have
call
the
my
power.
child.
Right.
I could call my family or whatever. Right.
Remember, you did the
So
thing.
that's what I'm saying.
You did
like,
the thing that you're supposed to
we
do.
really
You
don't
have
know.
your ID, right?
We
Right.
could be in a
thing.
simulation this
we
whole
could.
time. Like,
But listen,
just like
we're
with
not
Sims.
going to go there.
Like somebody, you know, I don't know.
Listen,
I don't know. Listen,
we're not getting ready to go there.
I'm just saying.
We're not getting ready to go there. But
All I'm saying is they could both have agendas, but I'm not surprised. I feel like a lot of people are involved in that Diddy shit. I feel like we are gonna be. Some of us are gonna be surprised, and some of us are not gonna be surprised because we all knew this stuff was going on. But of course, we're not gonna know everything. Like it's just like somebody having a house. Like that family lives across the street, but we don't know. They might come outside and like argue sometimes, but we don't really see what goes on inside the house. So as far as Diddy's concerned, we don't know what he's really been doing. So anybody could be involved. Shit.
it's true. It could be anybody. You know, it is true. I have to say though, it's a little disappointing because this is the time where I was coming up. I was looking up to all of the people in the music industry and just, you know, excited about the acknowledgement they were getting and the leaps and bounds that they were making with Black music. And Diddy was one of the people that she's laughing at me. Diddy was one of the people that was being regarded highly as like a mover and a shaker in the space. And so, you know, I believe that. I believe that story that was sold to me.
That boy and stuff like that, he was doing the damn thing. But the moment that he made them walk to get cheesecake, I was like, "This."
Oh, is that what did it for you?
Oh, right.
No,
that's what started my thought of him being dingy, and then I just kept watching all the time, and I was like,
"All right, let me say what turned me off of Diddy in the beginning, right?
Maybe I forgot something. Let's hear it."
Well, I started hearing these stories about, like, okay, the first story that came up was about like TLC. This was not introduced to him, but like, TLC was like, "Oh, this is how you get fucked on a business deal." Right, you get 1% and this amount, 8 cents on the dollar. This and then the album costs $12 and you get this amount. And I was like, "Oh, is that how it works?" Then I started to hear about the locks and what a 360 deal was, and I was like, "That's fucked up." The hypos and everything. I was like, "Who would sign that?" And then I realized it's like someone wanting to get put on, someone who trusts someone would take a 360 deal, someone who was sold a lie, who thought like this is the beginning,
thinking that this is all that this
is the way it works,
the way in, or
and
whatever.
Then once you do this, then you'll be on, right? It's like then you can have more. It's just like, dang, Diddy was that guy. And then I realized, you know, later on down the line, once Cassie started telling her truth, that's when I was like, wow, this guy was really Nino Brown. And then I was like, wow, and then that unlocked a whole bunch of just different possibilities in my head, and I'm still swimming off of those. But, you know, it's disappointing because in my mind, I thought he was like a really, as like a good guy, even though the name of his company is Bad Boy. I don't even know how I got that mixed up. He's telling you who he is right there. You know what I mean? But anyway,
I don't know. I've always he just seems like he like some people just no matter what they do, you know, how many showers they take or whatever, they just look dingy. And he just not that he looks dirty, but it's something about him that just doesn't it's sleazy. It just feels like you know how you when you be around somebody that you just be like they just grimy or whatever. That's what I get from him, and I've gotten that for a long time. Especially,
well, man,
like
I believed
made him
him.
to go get that cheesesteak. I mean, that cheesecake.
I believed him, and there were certain relationships that did work out well. Like, well, I don't know their truths, but I just remember we both loved Mary J. Blige, and Mary J. Blige seemed to have, you know, she had some other drama.
I don't know though, because we are looking at people who whatever we were given right as the public. What if Mary J. Blige comes out and be like, that nigga wasn't right?
Oh my God. Now that would be crazy. But she hasn't done that.
No, she hasn't. But the people
oh my God, Mary.
Listen, the people who came out for Bill Cosby and R. Kelly didn't come out right away. So I wouldn't listen. I feel like there are so many people connected to Diddy that we probably don't even know everybody, right? They had some video on I think I saw it on TikTok or Instagram where he was naming all these people and he was like, this is Diddy's list of victims or whatever. But it was not his list of victims. It was a list of it was like an old video of him announcing who he was gonna invite to his party or something like that. But I believe that there were a lot of people involved that some we won't be surprised about, but some we will be surprised about because back then there was no like people just wanted to be famous. Those people that were like trying to get to Hollywood, like you knew everybody knew somebody who was just like, I can rap, I can sing, I'm getting ready to move to Atlanta, I'm gonna move to LA, I'm gonna move to New York. Like they were trying to get on at all costs. And some of those people kind of, you know, probably got sucked into the you know, you're right. Whatever this is that he's been doing, because I listen, I'm telling you, whatever you think it is, it's probably 10 times worse. That's how I'm looking at it. I feel like whatever you can imagine that you think this is that he did, the real sickness and whatever the situation was, I feel like it's worse than you could probably imagine. It's probably some shit that we wouldn't even think of doing to people. Like it's not that he was doing the shit to people, but just like the shit that came out of whatever was started with him, from these freak offs to whatever. Like if that is bad, why wouldn't you think that everything else like would be it? Like I could just imagine the shit that people went through, but people wanted to get on at no cost. So I'm just saying, don't be surprised.
I mean, I guess I can't be. It's funny when you bring up just different people because when we think about Mary J. Blige and I think about Lil Kim and I think about also just a lot of people
should also be thinking about TD Jakes.
Both of them, listen,
he was there too. Like, why would you be?
Women were, you know, thought of as loyal. I mean, even Lil Kim went to jail and didn't snitch, and that's why she went to jail because she wouldn't snitch, right?
Yeah, but look at Lil Kim. What do you think she had to go through, right? What do you think she went through? You can see some of the effects of this trauma that she had, right? She tried to change. She was cuter when she didn't have that body work.
Yeah, that was
so. What must she have experienced that she felt like she needed to?
Also, you know what I realized the other.
What was you about to say?
I just realized we were on camera, but I have to say this. Remember when? Okay, so whenever OJ died, I started thinking about.
He was cremated today too, by the way.
Really?
Oh. And only a few select family members were able to gather.
That's weird. I don't believe it.
Oh my God.
Not that you're lying.
We weren't there.
But it's like, wow, how did that happen so quickly and cremated? It's weird. But anyway, that's neither here nor there. I'm sorry.
When I
think about, like, when we're talking about Mary J. Blige.
I'm sorry, hold on one second. Hold that thought. Hold it.
Okay.
Do not forget it.
I won't.
Gwendolyn Beatty says Solving Green is a movie you might find interesting.
Oh, that's up here.
Euthanasia. Yeah. Yes. I really need to watch that because isn't that the movie where there was like human meat involved. Anyway, I'm gonna.
Oh wait, Blondie said a whole bunch of stuff. Blondie was like, she's gonna be
she's a
54
Cancer
in
in
July.
July.
7/11.
7/11. Okay.
Like the
7/11.
Beyonce
7/11.
song.
7/11. Okay.
Yeah. Okay, so she said, "Get black folks." Oh, we were probably talking about something. Black folks are talking about it like you all.
She was saying
are.
when we was talking about DJ Academics and
Let's see what we're supposed to do.
Donald Trump Jr.
Donald Trump was 46. I didn't know he was that old.
I didn't either.
I didn't either.
I'm older
But
than
you
him.
know, I hope it's not. You know, it's one of those things that you know. And this is a Sovereign Green.
Somebody suggested that to me before. I'm gonna have to watch that.
I hope that it's not that movie, easy to get the black vote, but I feel like so many people sort of.
I'm not voting for nobody just because he was talking to DJ
let's
Academic.
just talk about it. Some people brush it off like it's not a big deal whether you vote or not. And while I don't think it solves like your everyday day-to-day problems, I do think that, you know, it does something regardless of whether you think it's gonna, you know, change your life to have somebody in the presidential seat. It kind of shows that you showed up and that you have a voice and that somebody should pay attention to you in the system. Because the system is happening all around. I mean, so like whether you believe in the system or not, like they're making laws, they're able to pull you over for things that you not necessarily readily involved in the voting of, like what's illegal and what's not. So I feel like when we show up in numbers as far as like groups of our interests or groups of our, it's not like perceived ability. Like if you're a black person and you're not voting, you're not being counted. And so
so here's, like I said, we just pointed out that we cannot get a confirmation number from the voting ballot booth and then go home later and be like, okay, I see my confirmation number go up, so I know they got it. Right? So I think that if you are a person that believes in voting, you need to put your belief in whatever it is that you believe in and do what you have to do, but understand that there's no way you can prove that your vote was counted. And that's, I think, what people kind of ride on, because we could all vote for somebody and they might not win. You know what I'm saying? So it's kind of like I think the main thing is that our ancestors could not do it. And so now that we can do it, we do it. Right?
Yeah.
Even though we don't know if it's going to be counted, we are just honoring our ancestors that couldn't do it, and we go out and do it. For a lot of us that just that vote, that is really why, because nobody can like verify that their vote got to the people, that are supposed to get to. Like,
yeah, but so okay, here's what I would say. Maybe voting doesn't work, but maybe it doesn't.
I mean, no, I'm not saying it doesn't work either, because the people who get voted in office aren't really the people who are doing the work anyway. So it's kind of like,
saying you were saying that though.
No, but I mean, like, we can't. Those people really aren't doing the work anyway.
Yeah.
So it's the whole anyway.
My thing is, not voting definitely doesn't work, because it's like, okay, you could choose not to participate in the system because you're not sure what happens, but not participating in that system definitely means that nothing's going to get done that you wanted. You know what I'm saying? Like, so if that's the only thing that you're doing, that's not good. Like, you can't just vote and walk away and do nothing. But also, if the system is working and you're not participating, then it was a free system that you could have participated in. And so there's that, But
the crazy thing is, how are you going to know who didn't vote?
Right. But it doesn't also cost anything.
Unless they say something, you don't know. But
for sure. And that's how I was going to say, that's how we ended up in this situation where all those white women told us they were voting for Biden and they didn't. And that's why black people should vote. All those white women lied to us. They fucking lied. You know who you are, Karens of the world, of the country. You lied, and we found out. That's one reason why I do believe in the voting system, because how would that information be privy to me? Like, how could that have been proven? Like, no one wants to oust the white women. They're protected. They're the most protected class in this country. All of them were exposed, like some Rosewood, fake rapist callers or something. But those white women were exposed. They voted for Trump, and they didn't even win. And then they lied and said they weren't, and we found out. We found, and you wore that shame, white women. Anyway,
I mean, okay, so I'm not going to address that, but like,
that's why I believe in the voting system, because
that's what happened.
Because here's why. Because Trump won that first time, which was sad and weird, but it happened and it was a lesson to us all. And then the second time he didn't win, and that further proved that, like, oh, it's a real system, because like it could have just happened the same way that it did before. But I do believe that it's an accurate count. I really do. I'm sorry. I don't know.
Bottom line is, can't confirm your vote. All right. So you have to you have to just,
put your faith in God.
What is the word? You have to reconcile with yourself.
Yep.
While you're voting. And do that. And don't let nobody knock you off your square or whatever you want to do. Okay?
Or just don't vote and don't complain. Whatever. Who cares?
If you're not going to know who's not voting unless you're actually walking around with them all day. People get on YouTube and act like they didn't vote just to stir up the argument. So
that's true.
Like, I'm not even getting into nothing like that. Like, that's your preference or whatever. If you don't vote, okay, you don't vote or whatever. But we just have to understand that we really don't have a way to.
We don't have a way to prove it.
Anything is.
It's not
happening. And I'm not about to get up in arms about nothing like that. That's
for sure.
So, anyway,
that was a great talk as usual, guys. Listen, we'll be back here next week.
Wait, though, hold up. We have to talk about really quick. There is a new show, because if you are a follower if you're a viewer for Ready to Love just had their reunion, the last part last week, and this Friday, tomorrow, the OWN is coming out with a show called Never Ever Met. And so it's people who met online through online dating. They never met each other. Some couples have been together for 12 years. Some couples have been together for 9 months, and they're going to meet each other for the first time and live under the same roof. All of them are going to live under the same roof. They're going to have relationship challenges, and I think there's going to be either there's going to be a therapist on site, or there's somebody with some help on site, right? So this is going to be interesting. And I guess they're taking a break like they did with the Ready to Love, Make a Move. Before we got the new season of Dallas, we had to watch Ready to Love, Make a Move. So I guess we got to watch Never Ever Met starting tomorrow at 8 o'clock. I don't know if you are too going to be watching it, but I will be reviewing that. I do owe y'all a closeout to part 2 for Ready to Love, and I think I'm going to do that tomorrow, because I did get to catch a few of the interviews. Like Maya's interview was last night. I caught Alexis's interview. I saw Alonzo's interview. I saw somebody else.
Who are you talking about? Who did they interview with?
Kojo interviewed Maya last night, and Crystal
she
interviewed
really
Vanessa last night.
I haven't been watching Crystal.
Yeah, Crystal interviewed Vanessa.
I feel like her stuff hasn't been coming up in my feed.
You gotta go to her channel. Her and Scorpio Mo been doing their thing. And I felt like Kamisha was supposed to have an interview with Chaz, but I did not see anything come across my notifications yet or whatever. But that's going to be an interesting one as well. So I'm going to do a video about Ready to Love Part 2 reunion with the interviews that I've been able to watch probably tomorrow. But we're going to get into Never Ever Met. That's it. We'll be back next week with Thursday Night Live with more trending topics. Shout out to Blondie Monique and Gwendolyn Beatty. Those are our A1 day ones. And I don't know where Ellen and Monique are, because they're also A1 day ones. I couldn't see Monique for a while, but then I saw her. For some reason, YouTube was messing up. But shout out to y'all. The guys that are going to catch this on the replay, make sure you get in the comments and let us know you were here, you came through. This was like a little laid-back episode. We had a lot of current trending topics to catch up on or whatever. But anyway, that's all we got for y'all today.
See y'all next week, y'all. Bye.